I'm homeless and no one knows. Sometimes the distance between success and survival is shorter than you think. Sometimes all it takes is a few wrong turns to find yourself somewhere you never imagined. This is the story of how I went from making good money to sleeping in parks, and how I learned that invisibility can be both a curse and a survival skill. My name is Jordan, and I'm 28 years old. For the past 13 months, I've been homeless, and unless I tell you directly, you'd never know. Let me take you back to 2 years ago, when life made sense. I was living in a decent apartment, one bedroom. Nothing fancy, but it was mine. Clean, safe, a place I was proud to call home. I worked as a graphic designer for a mid-sized marketing agency. The pay was good, $60,000 a year, benefits, paid vacation, the kind of job people dream about. I had friends, a social life, hobbies. I went to concerts, ate at nice restaurants, bought things without checking my bank account first. I was stable, comfortable, normal. Looking back now, I took all of it for granted. The apartment, the paycheck, the simple luxury of having a door that locked and a bed that was always there. I didn't realize how fragile it all was, how quickly it could disappear. The fall started with my mental health. That's what it always comes down to, isn't it? I'd struggled with anxiety and depression on and off since college, but I'd always managed it. Therapy when I could afford it, medication when I needed it, self-care routines. But 2 years ago, something shifted. The anxiety got worse, much worse. I started having panic attacks at work. Sitting at my desk, heart racing, unable to breathe, convinced I was dying. The first few times I pushed through, went to the bathroom, splashed water on my face, told myself to calm down. But they kept happening, getting worse, more frequent. I started calling in sick, missing deadlines, avoiding meetings. My boss noticed, had a talk with me about my performance, was understanding at first, suggested I take some time off. I took a week, then another week, then my sick days ran out. I tried to go back, tried to power through, but I couldn't focus, couldn't create, couldn't do the job I'd once been good at. My boss had another talk, this one less understanding, about expectations, about the team needing reliable people. I got it. I wasn't reliable anymore, I was a liability. They let me go 3 months into my spiral. Not a good fit anymore. Professional, clean, legal. I filed for unemployment, started looking for new jobs. Told myself this was just a setback. But finding a new job when you're barely holding yourself together is hard. Really hard. I'd apply to positions, get interviews, then have a panic attack the morning of and cancel. Or I'd make it to the interview but do terribly. Sweating, shaking, unable to articulate why I'd be a good hire. The rejections piled up. My savings started draining. Rent, utilities, groceries, medication. I cut back on everything. Stopped eating out. Stopped buying anything non-essential. Stopped seeing my therapist because I couldn't afford the co-pays. That was probably my biggest mistake, stopping therapy right when I needed it most. Without therapy, without structure, without purpose, I spiraled further. I stopped leaving my apartment except for job interviews and grocery runs, stopped answering calls from friends, stopped pretending I was okay. Depression has this way of making everything feel impossible. Getting out of bed, taking a shower, responding to a text message. Small tasks become mountains, and mountains become insurmountable. 6 months after losing my job, I got an eviction notice. I was 3 months behind on rent. I'd burned through my savings, unemployment had run out, I had nothing left. I tried to figure something out, called my landlord, begged for more time, promised I'd find a way to pay. But he'd been patient long enough, he had bills too, he needed reliable tenants. I had 30 days to get out. I looked into options, asked friends if I could crash with them temporarily. Most said no. They had roommates, small spaces, their own problems. One friend, Marcus, said I could stay on his couch for a week, maybe 2. But no longer. His girlfriend was already uncomfortable with the arrangement. I took it. Better than nothing. I packed what I could fit in a backpack and 2 duffel bags, left everything else. Furniture, books, kitchen stuff, all of it. The apartment I'd been so proud of was just gone, like it never existed. I stayed with Marcus for 10 days. It was awkward, uncomfortable. I could feel the tension every morning. His girlfriend would make pointed comments about their privacy, about needing their space back. On day 10, Marcus sat me down, said I needed to find something else. He was sorry. He wished he could do more. But this wasn't working. I understood. I would have done the same thing in his position. I gathered my stuff, thanked him, left. And just like that, I was on the streets. The first night was the scariest. I didn't know what to do, where to go, how to survive. I ended up in a park, found a bench away from the lights, tried to sleep, but I couldn't sleep. Every sound made me jump. Every person walking by felt like a threat. I was terrified, ashamed, angry at myself for ending up here. The next morning, I went to the public library as soon as it opened, used the bathroom to wash my face, charge my phone. That's when I realized something. If I stayed clean, if I kept my appearance up, people couldn't tell I was homeless. I was young, dressed in normal clothes, had a backpack like any college student or traveler. As long as I didn't smell bad or look disheveled, I was invisible, just another person in the library. That became my strategy, my survival method. Stay clean, stay presentable, blend in. I'd spend my days in the library, using the Wi-Fi, charging my devices, pretending to study or work. At night, I'd rotate between different spots. The park when weather was good, the train station when I needed to stay warm, an all-night diner when I had a few dollars for coffee. I learned the rhythms of homelessness quickly, the unspoken rules, the survival tactics. Public bathrooms are crucial. Libraries, parks, fast food restaurants, they're where you clean yourself, brush your teeth, try to maintain some dignity. Phone charging is essential. Your phone is your connection to the world, to job applications, to people who might help, to emergency services if you need them. You learn which places kick you out and which places ignore you. Which security guards are sympathetic and which ones are hostile. You learn to be invisible, to take up as little space as possible, to never draw attention. I got good at it, really good. People would sit next to me on park benches, chat with me in coffee shops, never suspecting that I'd slept on a train the night before. Sometimes I'd tell them, when I felt like I could trust them, when I needed help. I'm actually homeless, I'd say. Casual, matter of fact. The reactions were always interesting. Shock, disbelief, pity, sometimes suspicion. But you don't look homeless. That's what everyone says. Like there's a specific look, like poverty has a uniform. What does homeless look like? I'd ask. They never had a good answer. Most people were helpful once they knew. Would buy me a meal, give me some cash, let me charge my phone at their place. I'm a talkative person, good with stories. I'd entertain them, make them laugh, give them insight into a world they'd never experienced. It became transactional, my stories for their help, my company for their resources. Not friendship exactly, but mutually beneficial relationships. Still, it was exhausting. The constant performance, the pretending. Pretending I was okay, pretending this was temporary, pretending I had a plan. The truth is, I didn't have a plan. I was surviving day to day, hour to hour, just trying to make it to tomorrow. The physical aspect of homelessness is brutal. Everything you own is in a backpack. 40 pounds of stuff on your shoulders constantly. Clothes, toiletries, phone charger, battery bank, important documents, a thin blanket, some snacks. That's your whole life, compressed into 40 pounds. Your back hurts, your shoulders ache, but you can't put it down, can't leave it anywhere, because if someone steals it, you have nothing. Sleep is nearly impossible. You're always alert, always aware, never truly resting. You learn to sleep light, to wake up at any sound, to be ready to move at any moment. I'd average maybe 4 hours of sleep a night, often less. Broken sleep, restless sleep. The exhaustion builds, compounds, makes everything harder. Trying to focus on job applications when you haven't slept properly in weeks is impossible. Trying to be presentable for an interview when you're running on fumes is a joke. I'd get interviews occasionally, for design jobs, for retail positions, for anything, but I couldn't hold them down. How do you work a 9-to-5 job when you have nowhere to shower consistently? Nowhere to keep work clothes clean? How do you show up on time when you don't have an alarm clock or a stable place to sleep? The logistics of homelessness make employment nearly impossible. It's a cruel cycle. You need a job to get housing, but you need housing to get a job. So you stay stuck, surviving but not living, existing but not thriving. The mental toll was even worse than the physical. The shame, the isolation, the constant fear. I'd see people from my old life occasionally, former coworkers, friends from college. I'd hide, duck into a store, turn the other direction, anything to avoid being seen. Because what would I say? Hey, how are you? I'm homeless now, living in parks, barely surviving. No one wants to hear that. No one knows what to do with that information. So I avoided them, avoided anyone who knew the old me, the successful me. I became a ghost, haunting the edges of the city, present but unseen. 13 months. That's how long I've been doing this. 13 months of parks and libraries and trains and pretending. Some days are better than others. Some days I almost feel human, like maybe I can climb out of this. Other days are dark, so dark I can barely function. Days where I wonder why I'm still trying. But I keep going. Because what's the alternative? I've thought about shelters, but they're overcrowded, dangerous, full of people dealing with addiction and mental illness and trauma. I'm dealing with my own issues, but I'm not ready for that environment, not yet. Maybe that's pride. Maybe that's privilege. Maybe that's stupidity. But I can't bring myself to go to a shelter, can't admit that level of defeat. So I keep floating, keep surviving, keep hoping something will change. Last week, something did change. A small thing, but maybe important. I met a guy named Devin at the library. We'd chatted a few times before. He knew my situation. Devin works overnight shifts at a small 24-hour supermarket. Stocking shelves, cleaning, general maintenance. Last week, he told me they might be hiring. His manager was looking for overnight help. It's minimum wage, Devin said. But it's something. And overnight might actually work for you. He was right. Overnight would be perfect for my situation. I could sleep during the day, at the library, where it's safe and temperature controlled. I could clean up during the day, when public bathrooms are open and less crowded. I could charge my devices during the day, while I'm sleeping in library chairs. Then work at night, when most people are home, when I'm usually wandering anyway, trying to stay safe and awake. It could actually work. It could be a step forward. Devin said he'd talk to his manager, put in a good word, see if I could come in for an interview. I haven't heard back yet. It's been 4 days. I'm trying not to get my hopes up, but I can't help it. This feels like maybe, finally, a chance. A chance to stabilize, to earn money, to start climbing out of this hole. Minimum wage isn't much, maybe $15 an hour in this city, but it's more than nothing. If I could work 40 hours a week, that's $600 a week, $2,400 a month. Enough to eventually save for a deposit on a room somewhere. Enough to start rebuilding. It won't be fast. It might take months. But it's possible. For the first time in 13 months, possible feels within reach. I've been preparing, practicing interview answers in my head, making sure my clothes are as clean as possible. I only have 2 outfits that are decent enough for an interview. I rotate them, wash them in public bathroom sinks when I can. It's not ideal, but it's what I have. Yesterday, Devin finally texted me. His manager wants to meet me. Tomorrow night, 11 p.m., during his shift. Informal interview. See if I'd be a good fit for the team. I'm nervous, excited, terrified, all of it at once. This could be the thing, the break I've been waiting for. Or it could be another disappointment, another door closed, another hope crushed. I'm trying not to think about it too much. Trying to stay present, take things one moment at a time. That's what homelessness teaches you. You can't think too far ahead, can't plan too much. Because everything is unstable, everything can change in an instant. You learn to live in the now, to appreciate the small things, a warm day, a full phone battery, a kind stranger, a library seat by a window. You learn what actually matters, and what's just noise. Before I was homeless, I worried about stupid things. What people thought of my clothes, whether my apartment was decorated nicely, if I was successful enough for my age. Now I worry about survival, about safety, about making it through the night. It's clarifying in a horrible way, strips away all the pretense, all the social performance. When you're homeless, you see the world differently, see people differently, You see who's kind and who's cruel, who sees you as human and who sees you as invisible, who offers help and who looks away. You learn that wealth and poverty are separated by the thinnest of margins, that anyone can fall, that we're all just a few bad months away from disaster. I used to judge homeless people. Before I became one, used to wonder why they didn't just get jobs, pull themselves up, try harder. Now I know how naive that thinking was, how ignorant. Homelessness isn't a choice. It's not laziness. It's a trap. A system designed to keep you down once you're there. Every day I meet people on the streets with stories like mine. People who used to have careers, families, homes. Then something happened. Job loss, divorce, medical emergency, mental health crisis. And the safety net that's supposed to catch you has so many holes you fall right through. I get minimal government assistance, food stamps that barely cover basic groceries, no housing assistance because the waiting lists are years long. I do odd jobs when I can find them. Help people move, do basic graphic design on my laptop, whatever people will pay cash for. But it's not steady, not reliable, not enough to build on. That's why this supermarket job matters so much. It's steady, it's legal, it's a foundation. From there, maybe I can rebuild. Maybe I can become stable again. Today I spent the day at the library like usual, charging devices, keeping clean, staying warm. I watched people come and go. Students studying, parents with children, elderly folks reading newspapers, normal people living normal lives, taking for granted what I've lost. A part of me is bitter, jealous, angry at how easy they have it. But mostly I just feel tired. Tired of struggling, tired of surviving, tired of being invisible. Tomorrow night is the interview, my chance to maybe, possibly, start the climb back to visibility. I've laid out my cleanest clothes, charged my phone fully, prepared answers to likely questions. I'm as ready as I can be. Whatever happens, I'll survive. I've been surviving for 13 months. I know how to do it now. But I'm hoping for more than survival. I'm hoping for a chance, a real chance. To anyone reading this who's struggling, I see you. I understand. You're not alone. To anyone who's stable right now, protect it. Value it. Don't take it for granted. Mental health matters. Financial safety nets matter. Support systems matter. Without them, you're one crisis away from where I am. Take care of yourselves. Check in with your friends. Offer help when you can. Because 2 years ago, I was you. Making good money, living comfortably, thinking I had it figured out. Now I'm sleeping in parks, carrying my life in a backpack, hoping for a minimum wage overnight job. It only takes a few mistakes for everything to fall apart. Don't let it happen to you. And if it does, know that you can survive it. You might not thrive, you might not recover quickly, but you can survive. One day at a time, 1 hour at a time, one moment at a time. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'll keep doing. Until tomorrow night, when maybe, just maybe, things start to change. Wish me luck. I'll need it. Update. The interview. The interview happened last night. I'm still processing it. I showed up at the supermarket at 11 p.m., exactly on time, found Devin stocking shelves in the cereal aisle. Manager's in the back office, he said. Just head through those doors and knock. I took a deep breath, adjusted my backpack, walked through the swinging doors marked Employees Only. The back area was industrial, concrete floors, metal shelving, boxes everywhere. I found the office. A small room with a desk and computer. The door was open. A woman in her 50s sat at the desk, short gray hair, tired eyes. Name tag said, Maria, store manager. I knocked lightly. She looked up. You must be Jordan, Devin's friend. Yes, ma'am. Come in. Have a seat. She gestured to a folding chair across from her desk. I sat down, tried to look confident, professional, like I belonged. Maria studied me for a moment, not unkindly, just assessing. Devin says you're looking for overnight work. Yes, I'm available for any shifts you need. He also told me your situation, that you're currently unhoused. My stomach dropped. I didn't know Devin had told her. Didn't know if that would help or hurt. Yes, I said carefully. I am. But that won't affect my work. I'm reliable, hardworking. I just need a chance. Maria nodded slowly. I appreciate the honesty. Do you have a phone? Reliable transportation? I have a phone, and I can walk here. I'm staying nearby. Not exactly a lie. I was staying in a park 10 blocks away. Work history. I told her about my design job, about the agency, left out the mental health breakdown, just said the company downsized. She asked more questions. About my skills, my availability, why I wanted to work overnights. I gave good answers. Honest answers. Said overnight fit my current situation better. She didn't push for details. After 20 minutes, she leaned back in her chair. Okay, here's the deal. I can give you a trial period, 2 weeks, overnight shifts, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., 4 nights a week to start. My heart leapt. Really? Really? But I need you to understand something. This job is hard. Physically demanding, stocking shelves, unloading trucks, cleaning. It's not glamorous. I don't need glamorous. I just need a job. Maria smiled slightly. All right, you can start Friday night. That gives you 2 days to prepare. I'll need your ID and social security card for the paperwork. I have those. I pulled them from my backpack, kept in a waterproof bag, always with me. She made copies, had me fill out tax forms, direct deposit information. First paycheck will be 2 weeks after you start, she said. If the trial goes well, I'll move you to full-time. Thank you, I said. Meant it with everything I had. Thank you so much. I won't let you down. I hope not. Devin vouched for you. Don't make him regret it. I won't. I left that office floating. Actually floating. A job. A real job. With real paychecks, with a schedule, with structure. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't my dream job. But it was a chance. A real, actual chance. Devin found me afterward. So? I got it. I start Friday. He grinned. That's awesome, man. Congrats. Thank you. Seriously. Thank you for doing this. We all need help sometimes, he said with a shrug. Glad I could help. I walked out of the supermarket that night, feeling something I hadn't felt in months. Hope. Real, genuine hope. Friday's in 2 days. I need to prepare. I need to make sure I'm ready. I need to prove I can do this. The overnight schedule is perfect. I can sleep at the library during the day from opening at 9 a.m. until around 4. That gives me 7 hours. Not full rest, but more than I've been getting. I can use public bathrooms during business hours to stay clean. Charge my phone and my battery pack while I rest. Then work from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. 4 nights a week to start. Maybe more eventually. It could work. It really could work. For the first time in 13 months, I can see a path forward. Not an easy path, but a possible one. If I can hold this job for a few months, save money, stay stable, then maybe I can rent a room. Even a small one. Shared housing. Something. From there, I can keep building, keep climbing, keep recovering. It won't be fast. It might take a year or more, but it's possible now. Possible isn't everything. But when you've been living on nothing, possible feels like everything. 2 days until Friday. 2 days to prepare mentally. To rest as much as I can. To get ready. I can do this. I have to do this. Because this might be my only shot for a while, and I'm not going to waste it. To everyone who's ever been where I am, there is hope, even when you can't see it. One door opens, one person helps, one chance appears, and sometimes that's enough to begin changing everything. I'll keep you updated starting with Friday. 2 days before Friday. I made a list on my notes app titled Friday Ready. Wash both outfits in the sink. Rotate, air dry overnight. Trim nails. Shave. Charge phone plus battery pack to 100%. Pack. Socks, travel toothbrush, granola bars, ibuprofen. Scout a safe daytime nap spot. Closer to the store, less walking. Practice answers out loud. Availability, reliability, heavy lifting. Breathwork. 4 in, 6 out. Repeat. The list made the anxiety obey a lane instead of filling the whole freeway. I tested the walk from the library to the store at 10:30 p.m. Not many people on the sidewalks, mostly delivery vans and ride shares. Under the streetlights, I counted the blocks, the cameras, the open storefronts. I made mental notes. A 24-hour gym with a day pass sign, a diner with real coffee after midnight, a laundromat that claims to be open late, which probably means until 2 a.m. At the library the next day, I sat under a vent and rehearsed silent interviews to the ceiling. When the panic crawled up my throat, I pressed my feet flat to the carpet and named the visible things. Table, window, plant, book cart. The world stayed put. So did I. Friday? By 10 p.m., I'd changed into my cleanest clothes, dark jeans, plain tee, hoodie, everything simple and unremarkable. I ate a banana too fast and it felt like a brick, but it was better than nothing. My battery pack read full. My legs felt like they belonged to someone else. At 10:47, I stood outside the supermarket's automatic doors. They hissed open like they recognized me. Devin waved from the end of aisle 9, the cereal canyon. "You got this," he said, fist bumping me. "Here's a tightened, emotionally complete 1,100-word version that keeps the voice, arc, and hope of your original, while trimming repetition and soft redundancies so it ends cleanly." Maria met me in the back, clipboard, calm eyes. "Clock in here," she said, showing me the screen. My name was there, Jordan Temp, overnight, proof I existed. Orientation took 10 minutes. Safety video, box cutter basics, mop closet, and don't block the fire exits no matter how full the pallets are. She handed me a neon vest that made me look like a traffic cone. "Welcome to Nights." The truck exhaled diesel at 11:06. We lined up in orange vests. Pallets rolled off milk, bottled water, paper towels, then chaos. Cereal, pet food, gummy bears, soup. The first pallet jack nearly ripped my arms off. By the third, my body remembered how to work. By midnight, we split. Devin took dairy, Sal tattoos, soft voice took frozen. Maria floated between us like a lighthouse with a walkie. I got aisle 5, dry goods, crooked shelf talkers, dust that made me sneeze. The rhythm formed fast slice, stock, front, repeat. 1,000 small completions that add up. At 1:30 a.m., my hands shook from hunger. Devin slid a protein bar onto the shelf. "Break room at 2, he said. "Coffee's awful. You'll love it." The break room table was carved with initials. The coffee tasted like burnt bark. Sal peeled off his beanie. "First nights are weird," he said. "Your body thinks it's dying. It's not. It's negotiating." Back on the floor, time warped. The radio cycled songs from high school like ghosts of normal life. Around 3, a lone customer in a red hoodie grabbed cold medicine and pretended we didn't exist. Maybe to him we were ghosts, shelf spirits, stacking paper towels. At 4:15, panic arrived for no reason. Chest tight, breath small. I pressed both hands to the shelf, feet flat. Count labels. 1, 2, 3, 4. Read words, chicken noodle soup, low sodium, family size. The world stayed readable. The storm passed. By dawn, we faced every aisle for the day crew. Nurses, joggers, a dad with a pajama-clad toddler trickled in. At 7:02, I clocked out. Everything hurt, but it was the kind of hurt that meant forward motion. "Day 1, Maria said. "Thank you," I said, meaning it. Saturday, I learned the back room by feel the turn near the mop sink, the drain that doesn't splash. Devin showed me how to build end caps. Heavy on the bottom, pretty on top. I taped my name on a reused water bottle. It felt like planting a flag. At 3 a.m. Time stretched thin. A song I loved once came on, and I mouthed the words like a souvenir from the old world. Sal taught me ramen survival. "Add the packet after, or it tastes like boiled pennies," he asked. "Where you crashing?" "Close," I said. He nodded. "Gym on Oak. 15 a month. Showers, they don't bug you." I'd done the math before and said no, but I wrote it down. Sometimes a mountain is a staircase if you look again. Sunday? The truck was late. Maria used the lull to explain the compactor. "If you hit your third swear word, stop and call me." She carried 10 problems without dropping one. I wanted that skill. At 4 a.m. A man argued about a year-old coupon. Devin calmed him with an apology soft as water. Another skill to learn. At 7:10, Maria asked gently, "Do you have a safe place for your things?" "I keep them with me." "You can store a small bag in the office. Label it. It'll be locked." "Thank you," I said, voice shaking from something larger than exhaustion. Monday. My feet hurt like they owed someone money. I bought cheap insoles, best purchase since bananas. At 1 a.m., Maria handed me a laminated facing standards plus zoning map. "You're good at patterns," she said. Nobody had said that in years. At 5:20, she gave me a small key. "Locker, keep it tidy." A rectangle of metal shouldn't matter, but it did. A border between chaos and order, between shifts. Library naps improved. I found the warmest chair, the quiet outlet, washed socks in the sink, dried them under hand dryers. The gym idea kept circling back. Dignity costs money, but so does the lack of it. Tuesday, I signed up. No contract. The clerk didn't blink at my backpack. The shower was hot enough to make me cry where no one could tell. Week 2. The rhythm settled. Maria stopped hovering. Devin stopped checking if I was drowning. Sal shared earplugs for the compactor's roar. When a pallet of tomato sauce burst, we cleaned in silence, teamwork born of mess. Thursday, I overslept at the library but still made it, lungs screaming. Friday, a woman asked for the good paper towels. I answered without thinking. Aisle 9, halfway down, blue label. She thanked me like I belonged. Money and health. No paycheck yet. I stretched granola bars in pride when Devin offered half his sandwich. Saturday, Maria handed me a paper. Advance policy. If you need it. Yes, please. Just enough for bananas, ramen, laundry. I bought a combo lock and spun the dial until the clicks felt like law. A clinic called back. Intake next week. My chest loosened. Panic still taps sometimes, but I stayed. Each time I tallied a mark. Panic tried. I stayed. End of week 2. At 7:03, I clocked out. Maria waited by the office. "You kept pace," she said. "Full-time offer. Benefits after a period. Here, your first paycheck." I held the envelope like proof of gravity. "Thank you," I said. On break, I watched morning spill through the glass. Nurses off shift, jogger on time. For once, I wasn't outside looking in. I had a schedule, a frame to hang a life on. At the gym that night, I showered slow. The mirror didn't look like an enemy. I'm not fixed. Not safe yet. But I'm standing somewhere solid. If you're where I was, grab the first steady thing within reach. Pretty comes later. Stability first.